So John Morant is now blaming everybody else because he sucks at the sport, and we're finna get into it. Now, I do have a good buddy old pal of mine. Her name is Maria Knows Best. I'm gonna let her introduce herself very quickly. Go ahead, Maria.
Hello, my name is Shamaria Wiseman. A lot of people may know me as Maria Knows Best on all my social platforms, TikTok and X.
Alrighty, and I have her here because she is the quintessential Memphis Grizzlies slash John Morant fan. So I just wanted her here to add a bit of context to the John Morant and Memphis Grizzlies situation. But don't get it confused. I won't be giving that nigga no bail nor making no excuses. So let's get into it. Now, here is John Morant
They had a
after
whole
he
spill in here.
played the Los Angeles Lakers very quickly. So everybody's on one accord. So that's a post-game interview after a game in which he had 8 points and went 3 of 14 from the field. Capiche? We here, audience? Capiche. All right, let's see what he had to say post-game.
What went wrong to you today?
Go ask the coaching staff.
Do you feel like, I mean, there was anything you could do differently, I guess?
You go ask them. They had a whole spill in here, so.
From the outside, and the outside may be wrong, but from the outside, it didn't look like you had your usual energy tonight.
Go ask the coaching staff why.
Okay. You feel like you should play more?
Go ask the coaching staff. Should I play more or not?
What had been done?
Else?
What could have been done different to get a different outcome, other than asking the coaching staff?
According to them, probably don't play me, honestly. That's what basically the message was after, so it's cool.
The coaching staff message was
It's
it?
cool, bro.
Very good. You didn't have anything physically wrong in terms of illness or anything?
Oh, no,
you
I'm
were
good.
under the
I'm
weather.
fine.
Okay.
I'm fine.
All right.
What went
And so because of that incident there, right? So we see the post game interview. I'm gonna pass it to Mario very quickly. What did you think when you first saw that post game interview out of Ja?
From first of all, obviously we got the reports of what was said in the locker. In my initial reaction, I was just like, "Oh my gosh!" I kind of would have preferred John Morant to just not have said anything to the media, but at this point, I feel like with the way the media does John Morant, especially nationally, Ja was damned if he did, damned if he didn't. So Ja could have kept his mouth closed. We still would have had an issue with it. Ja obviously chose to say something in response to the reporters, and I don't think it was necessarily anything wrong with what he said, saying, "Go ask the coach. Go ask the coach." I was very skeptical about seeing the video. I thought the video would actually be worse than this. I saw it this morning, and it made me laugh. To be honest, I'm not gonna lie, it made me laugh. Yeah, that was really my first reaction.
Okay, that's fair. My first reaction when I saw that is this is the result of when you baby an individual as a franchise and as a city, right? Memphis and the Memphis organization has babied and coddled John Morant, and so now when he plays bad, and the coaching staff has to actually coach and potentially lessen his minutes in a game because they're playing better when he's not on the court. Now he wants to throw a hissy fit and give the media a sass masterclass because he has an attitude because he's trash. That's my opinion on it. Now, what we're going to also go to is the result of this press conference, which is John Morant now is suspended, right?
Mhm.
So he's gotten a 1 game suspension due to his quote tone deemed inappropriate comments after the game. Now, I want to make this a more granular conversation, right? I want to get to the root cause of why John Morant isn't as good as he once was, right? He wants to be a ball dominant, high usage player and play out a pick and roll, but he's not a good pull up shooter from three or from mid range, and he's getting to the rim with less frequency. Maria, to that, you say what? Why has John Morant taken a step back as a player?
I think in the past couple of years, we've seen after the 21-22 season, to be very specific, we see John Morant face serious injuries. Injuries that can literally hinder basically injuries that we know could hinder a player's athleticism. Ja is one of the most athletic players in the game. But besides that point, he somewhat still remained athletic. However, when he came back from these serious injuries, I think the biggest issue he didn't have to face was jumping back into a system that basically had to decenter Ja Morant due to him being out either due to suspensions or due to injuries. So he was decentered from it. And so now you have to focus on the guys that you can rely on every night. And so you have to circle in around, you have to cater your offense to Jaren Jackson. And that's what we saw the last two, well, technically the last 3 years. An offense that was centered around Jaren Jackson and decentered from Ja Morant.
I'm actually happy that you brought up the offense being centered elsewhere last season, as the Memphis Grizzlies last year were the sixth best offense in the league with less Ja Morant usage, right? So as the Ja Morant usage went down, the offense went up. They got better as an offensive unit, right? But they fired Taylor Jenkins March 28th, 2025. One of the reasons being that Ja Morant was not pleased with the offensive system that Jenkins had put in place because it didn't have Ja Morant as the focal point. Now, I will say this. Let's flash over to the few games left in the season in 24-25, right? After Jenkins got fired, here are Jaw's stats and the remainder of the games, right? He averages 28 points. He shoots 48% from the field, 38% from three on 8 attempts, right? He's also averaging 6 assists. However, the team went 2-5 in those 7 games. But Ja Morant got his stats, so Ja Morant was pleased. Also, knowing this information, we would assume, or you would think, it would be safe to assume that, okay, Ja Morant's now playing well again, having the ball back in his hands, different coaching staff, right? Playing more like the way he wants to play. That should lead into the next season as far as better team results and better solo success for Ja Morant. However, as this year has started and taken place, ladies and gentlemen, that's not the case, because now we're in 2025, 2026, and the Grizzlies so far this season, albeit small sample size, are now the 21st ranked offense in the NBA, right? So that's unfortunate. I do want to go back now to you, Maria, as our Ja Morant defender and Memphis Grizzly fan. How does that make you feel when you see the statistics say that y'all are a better team when Ja Morant is less involved in your offense?
I mean, I don't really know how to say it, because at the end of the day, I don't think that this team really goes far without Ja Morant on the court at the end of the day. This team can only go as far as Ja Morant takes. Blake Griffin even said this last night after the game in terms of his reaction to how Ja Morant chose basically to give up in the middle of the game. Like that stat, I don't, I can't go by that stat, because we not going nowhere unless Ja on the court. Ja is the most feared Grizzly on the court. That's just what it is.
And you know what? You might be right. He is the most feared Grizzly, because you have to watch your fucking head anytime he puts up a three. For the season, he's 5 of 32 from three. He's shooting 15.6% from three, right? They're saying he has more air balls than makes. Let's take a quick look at this video here and see what it looks like.
But the game kind of hanging there. The Warriors have executed to rebuild the lead. Ja Morant missing in Portland. The Warriors got back that time. Ja Morant, a 3-1 KCP, but able to retrieve 4 in the shot
Deep
clock.
one.
Morant lines up alone.
They are a fast team. They're not reckless with playing fast.
Morant for 3, Conference Rookie of the Month last year in January. Morant.
But the game.
Now, I also want to point you to this fact as well. Ja Morant, now Mario did point out earlier that he's been dealing with some injuries and whatnot. His rim frequency has gone down each and every season. Now, I would think that has something to do with it. I think he's trying to, evolve his game and become more of a jump shooter because of it, right? And that's going to lead to less rim frequency. But also, however, the problem with Ja Morant is that he's not a good jump shooter.
Correct.
So now we look at 2025, 2026, and like I said, albeit small sample size, right? He ended last year playing well. He ended last year more so looking like the Ja Morant of old that we've come accustomed to watching and seeing, and he put up the numbers, but it didn't lead to great team success. Now he's under the new coaching staff. He has an off season with them. They come into the season running the offense how John Morant wants the offense ran. They're now the 21st ranked defense. Also, what is John Morant doing this year? He's averaging 21 points. He's shooting 40. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Let me put it on the screen for you. He's averaging 21 points. He's shooting 40.5% from the field. He's shooting 15.5% from three.
He's
And
coming
he
off
has
of
an effective field goal percentage of 43.
I mean, this
And
includes.
this is the offense that he wanted. How is this not concerning as a Memphis Grizzly?
Because if we go game by game, he's played fairly decent. I mean, the first game of the season, he had 34 points against the Pelicans. I can't remember. I think that Miami, he didn't play great. I can't remember exactly all the games that they played, but I know prior to that Los Angeles Lakers game, John Morant had a crazy game where he had 28 points and I think eight rebounds, 7 assists, was very efficient. I want to say he shot 10 for 19 in that specific game. He's shown glimpses that he can return to that 21-22 frame, form, whatever. I think people are just, hung up on this one game because it was against the Los Angeles Lakers. He shit the bed, quit mid-game, and all of this. There's a lot of issues regarding the Memphis Grizzlies. Like, we can sit here and talk about the new coach, which I'm happy that they do have, and he runs an offense that does cater to Ja Morant's style. But we talking about him not having the best screener on the team either. Zach Edey is not playing. I think that he would play a whole lot better with Zach Edey on the court, having another lob threat. It's just, I can't explain it. I don't think I can explain it like I did on my TikTok. But I think people are just over hyping this one bad game that he had, and he's had some great performances in this 6-game stretch so far of the season.
Do you think he's only had one bad game?
No, he's had like 2, which was against Miami and last night.
I would have to look that up. I'm gonna
He played fairly decent the other game. He won ass.
Yeah, I'm gonna check the word for it. I do want to see, like, where do you think y'all go from here as far as Memphis as an organization and as a team? There are a lot of rumors now being spread and talked about as far as John Morant potentially being traded. Number one, do you think that is likely? And number two, do you think that is the direction y'all should head towards and kind of regroup, maybe get some draft picks and some assets and kind of focus around some of the younger talent on the team and Triple J?
Trading Ja has never made sense to me. I don't think people realize the importance of Ja Morant to the city of Memphis. It's not just about his abilities on the court. I mean, Memphis has never had a player at this dynamic. And also, I don't understand the trade talks either, due to the fact that in the same breath, people will talk about the regression of Ja or the lack of improvement from Ja Morant. Yet teams will still claim that, oh, he can help this system. Oh, he can help that system. I mean, I think that he's on a team that caters to his play style. That I think the system that Isolo has fits Ja Morant's play style. It's just a matter of, I guess, playing more consistent with it. Obviously, the players around him being healthy and all of that. I don't think Ja will get traded. I think that this is an issue that the coach and Ja Morant will be able to figure out. Coach Isolo has talked about dealing with players who have certain attitudes and things like that. He's a coach. He said that he will take these issues head on. He'll address them, which is obviously what you would want from any coach. So I don't think Ja will get traded, and I think that this is an issue that the team will definitely work through and work out.
Do you think that Ja can be a leader of a franchise?
That's a great question. After what he pulled last night, I am now out on Ja Morant being the leader for the Memphis Grizzlies in the future. Completely quitting on your team is just unacceptable when you're angry at something a coach has said. And it wasn't up until we saw Ja Morant consistently be out where I feel like at that point I don't think he could be the best player on a championship team either. I think his play style is meant to be either a 2 or a 3. But yeah, we definitely got to move. I don't want to say it's still early, but I feel like at this point Josh should know the ropes to being a leader. And granted, he wasn't granted with the most vocal, I guess, vet that you would want. I don't know how KCP is. I wish Marcus Smart had stayed a little bit longer in all of this, because we were a team that really got rid of our vets early, which I feel like was one of the stupidest moves we could have did. But we got rid of our vets. Like when we were at our peak, we got rid of them. And I always thought that was stupid. But Ja Morant's leadership, I think, is got a lot of work. He's not the leader of this Memphis Grizzlies, and hasn't been for like the last 2 years, I don't think.
Yeah, for me, and as we wrap this video up, I will say personally, I just think that the high usage pick and roll ball handler that can't score efficiently, it's kind of weeding, that play style is kind of weeding itself out of the NBA. If you look at Ja Morant, another example of that, right? He wants to be a high usage ball handler and be in pick and roll situations over and over again, but you're not efficient anywhere on the floor. You're not a good pull-up three-point shooter. You're not a good pull-up mid-range shooter, even if you probe, right, and you get the defender on your hip. You're not good at that, and you're not even finishing great at the basket.